Greetings, free thinkers. Welcome to the Hoggcast. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing fine. I certainly am. Okay, what do we have for you on today's episode? I have for you one clip to watch. Oh, excuse me. We have one clip to watch. It's a fairly long clip, over 5 minutes. So I won't interrupt it too many times because then it will just go on forever. But this is Ned Price. He is to give him his official title, he is a United States government official and the State Department spokesman, serving under the leadership of the 71st Secretary of State, Blinken. Now, there is a journalist from the Associated Press who asks him this question. This is an exchange between this guy here and the Associated Press journalist, who for once in their life, it's like he's based, this journalist, right, a real investigative journalist, a cut above all of his colleagues. He actually persists in asking questions that really we should get answers to. Remember the whole weapons of mass destruction debacle, yeah, in Iraq, the situation with Iraq. Remember all of these just pointless conflicts that the West has started, including my country, Britain. People are starting to wake up, and I mentioned the weapons of destruction thing because it appears to be like I don't necessarily want to use the term false flag. It is something that this journalist uses, but it does appear to kind of be moving in that direction in regards to Ukraine and the situation in Ukraine. So we'll jump into this clip now. If you haven't yet though, please like the video, subscribe to the Hoggcast, hit the notification bell and share the video around. That will help me stay competitive, hopefully, because I am shadow banned and deboosted, because we are conservative commentators and we are the underdogs. Also have a membership scheme which you can join. I have 8 amazing, beautiful members who honour and humble me that they actually value my commentary and content as much as they do to become paying members of the Hoggcast. There is a join button down below next to the sub button and a link in the description. You could be member 9, but of course you don't have to. Okay, let's go.
Okay, well that's quite a mouthful there. So you said actions such as these suggest otherwise. Suggest meaning that they suggest they're not interested in talks and they're going to go ahead with some kind of what action are you talking about?
One, the actions I've just pointed to. The fact that Russia continues to engage in disinformation campaigns.
You made an
So apparently Russia engages in disinformation campaigns. Have you noticed that the only people who ever seem to constantly talk about misinformation and disinformation, bearing in mind they're the people who probably couldn't give you a definition of what the difference is between the two, but it's not Russian politicians, it's not even Ukrainian politicians, and we're supposed to be on their side. It's not even Chinese politicians. The people who are waxing lyrical about it every day, like every second word is all that horrible disinformation, is Western politicians. Britain, Canada, Australia, France, Germany, the United States, and so on, yeah? So these people are very keen to point the finger over there. No, it's not us. We're not the ones engaging in disinformation. It's those guys over there. Look over there. Stop looking at us.
Allegation that they might do that. Have they actually done
it? What we know, Matt, is what I have just said, that they...
No is the answer to that. That's the roundabout way of saying no.
Have engaged in this activity. In this planning activity. But let me because obviously this is not the first time we've made these reports public. Your
report. You just write something down and say it happened, right? It's like you saying we have reports that it's going to rain tomorrow. Okay, well, can you prove it to me? Well, we have reports that it's going to rain tomorrow. Fantastic. Can you prove it to me? Oh, you're just engaging in disinformation. Oh, you're a Russian bot. That's how it goes.
Remember that just a few weeks ago.
I'm sorry, made what report public?
If you'll let me finish, I will tell you what report we made public. We told you a few weeks ago that we have information indicating Russia also has already prepositioned a group of operatives to conduct a false flag operation in eastern Ukraine.
Here's an idea for you. What if you're the one conducting the false flag operation? Yeah? Weapons. Remember I said to you, weapons of mass destruction, yeah? That was a false flag. That was, as clear as day, a false flag. Did it come from Iraq? No. Afghanistan? No. Russia? No. China? No. Came from Britain and the United States. Britain and the United States. Yeah?
So that, Matt, to your question, is an action that Russia has already taken.
It's an action that you say that they have taken.
Yes, this is the point. This is getting to the point. And you can see, look at the stupid look on his face. You say they've done it. Just like weapons of mass destruction. You say they had them. Now we know they didn't. How many innocent Iraqis are no longer with us? I think the figure's close to 800,000 since the conflict first began in like 2003, wasn't it? And what about the bank balance of Tony Blair? So Tony Blair has become fantastically, absurdly wealthy since leaving office, yeah? How's Iraq doing? Right? We still haven't found those weapons of mass destruction. And we never will. Because it is one of those false flags, yeah?
But you have shown no evidence to confirm that. And I'm going to get to the next question here, which is, what is the evidence that they... I mean, this is like crisis actors, really? This is like Alex Jones territory you're getting.
Don't besmirch Mr. Jones by comparing him to this guy. Jones, AJ we'll call him, has been right far more often, and I know there's people out there who's probably not going to like the fact that that's the case, but it is. He hasn't been right about everything. He's been wrong about some things, but he's been right about a lot, many months in advance. So, whereas I agree with this journalist in his line of questioning, and I respect him for taking it to him, I don't agree with the comparison with Mr. Jones, yeah. Alex J, yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Because they're two completely different people, right?
Getting into now. What evidence do you have to support the idea that there is some propaganda film in the making?
Matt, this is derived from information known to the U.S. government, intelligence information that we have declassified. I think you know.
Okay, well, where is it? Where is this information?
It is intelligence information that we have declassified.
Well,
okay, so if you've declassified it, where can we find it? Because if it's been declassified, show us it. And that probably still wouldn't prompt me to believe you anyway, even if you did show me it. Because somebody wrote it. You could have wrote it. Right? This is what these politicians in the mainstream media don't get. It's not Mr. Jones's fault people don't trust you. It's not Rogan's fault, Joe Rogan's fault, people don't trust you. It's not Tucker Carlson's fault, people don't trust you. It's not Donald Trump's fault, people don't trust you. It's your fault. People don't trust you because of your actions going back in the United States at least 5 years to when Trump got elected. But as a whole in the West, this has been brewing for a long time because of you elite snobs, the elitists. You behave in a way that is distrustworthy or untrustworthy, yeah?
Where is it? Where's the declassified information?
I just delivered it.
No, you made a series of allegations and statements.
Would you like us to print out the topper? Because you will see a transcript of this briefing that you can print out for yourself.
That's not evidence, Ned. That's you saying it. That's not evidence. I'm sorry.
What would you like, Matt?
I would like to see some proof that you can show.
Show us some still images. Show us some photos of this. If you're saying that this was so important that it needed to be dealt with and observed, but now all of a sudden the file has been declassified. If you are saying that the Russians were preparing a false flag operation, right, where is your proof of that? Okay, you must have seen them do something, right? If you've declassified it, surely it must be beyond a doubt now. Where's your proof?
That
Matt, you have
that shows that the Russians are doing this. Ned, I've been doing this for a long time.
I know, that was my point. You
You
have been doing this for quite a while. You know that when we declassify intelligence information,
right. And I
we do so in a means. We do so with an eye to protecting sources and methods.
Is not going to fall. I remember a lot of things. So where
That's the biggest problem. Look, and you can see the look on his face. He knows it's not working. This is the biggest thing these politicians have, and it's what separates conservatives or those on the right from those on the left. Those on the right, we have a memory, right? We remember things. We have standards. So it doesn't matter if you do something or I do something. If it's bad, you get treated equally. You guys on the left, those on the left, you have no standards, you have no memory, you have no pattern recognition. All you have is the long, greasy pole of intersectionality that you worship at, right? So people remember. They remember Kabul won't fall. They remember weapons of mass destruction. They remember all of these things. People with a functioning brain, those of us on the right, they remember this stuff, yeah? And it's not working anymore. Even, to be fair, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be a bit critical. I suppose that there are people on the left who, and there's probably a lot of people on the left who are perfectly intelligent people. The problem is, they have this strange worship of government, and they think if a talking head on MSNBC says something, therefore it makes it true, right? That's the fundamental difference between left and right. But people are starting to wake up, and I think he gets it. He gets it's not working, right? The routine is not working anymore.
Where is the declassified information other than you coming out here and saying,
Matt, I'm sorry you don't like the format, but we have...
I'm sorry you don't like the format. And look, I've said this before, this is why so many people are angry. It doesn't matter what the subject is. To the left, Democrats, liberals, call them what you will, everything's a game to them. If you notice, they always laugh. They always find it funny. Especially if you're upset. The more upset you are, the more concerned you are about a bread and butter issue, the more it makes them laugh. Am I the only one that finds that worrying?
Not the format, it's the content.
I'm sorry you don't like the content. I'm sorry
You haven't given us any content. You're saying that a false flag action is taking place. You're saying that this can be proven in declassified documents. If they're declassified, where can we find them? Let them read for ourselves.
I'm sorry you are doubting the information that is in the possession of the U.S. government.
No,
See, that's what, and again, look, you're doubting what he essentially said is you're doubting the government, as if that's a bad thing. As if you're not allowed to. As if the government has a track record for accuracy and honesty. The Democrat government does not. Okay?
I'm telling you is that this is information that's available to us. We are making it available to you in order for a couple reasons.
But you're not making it available. You're just relaying something that you either heard or you straight up made up. These false flags were look at the truckers and their convoy. Look at the Trump rallies where you get those Fed type people turn up with the masks and that. That's false flag. Yeah, that's false flag. And this is what I mean. These people, these globalist type, Democrat type, mainstream media type shills, you know what I mean, the brood, yeah? Have you noticed that it's like I said in the beginning, every word that comes out of their mouth, every second word, it's disinformation this and misinformation that and false flag this, when nobody else is talking about all of that. Just them. There's an old saying, it goes like this: I doth think thou protest too much. Yeah?
Reasons. One is to attempt to deter the Russians from going ahead with this activity. Two, in the event we're not able to do that, in the event the Russians do go ahead with this.
The Russians aren't going to. They wouldn't bother with false flag rubbish. This is the thing people don't go. Russia does not want to fight you. They want to do their own thing, okay? Leave them alone. Right? It's the convenient boogeyman for everyone, isn't it? We'll just blame that guy and then that guy. And
to make it clear as day, to lay bare the fact that this has always been an attempt on the part of the Russian Federation to fabricate a pretext.
Yeah, but you don't have any...
So, would that be similar to what you did in Iraq? Why is it good for you but bad for them? And bearing in mind, we haven't got any proof that they are actually doing it, but we do have solid proof that you've done it. Yeah?
Any evidence to back it up other than what you're saying? It's like you're saying, we think we have information the Russians may do this, but you won't tell us what the information is. And then when you're asked...
That is the idea behind deterrence, Matt. That is the idea behind deterrence. It is our hope that the Russians don't go forward with this.
Is, you say, I just gave it to you. But that's not what...
You seem not to understand... You seem not to understand the idea of deterrence.
A deterrent? What? So you coming out and accusing a country of doing something they didn't do, something that you've done yourself in Iraq, and apparently that's a deterrent. Listen, the Russians aren't scared of you. The Chinese certainly aren't scared of the West, right? We are the laughingstocks of planet Earth at the moment, the Western Hemisphere. We're ridiculous. We're divided. We're a house who's divided. We're arguing over pointless things. We can't even agree on what a woman is anymore, and a man. We've devolved. We've degenerated back into witchcraft, essentially, like with witch doctors and professors of immutable characteristics. Russia, you don't find all of those things in Russia or China, just the West. And if you think Putin, who's a genuine hard man, is going to be afraid of you, this guy here, look, this guy, and you wonder why people don't trust you anymore.
We are trying to deter the Russians from moving forward with this type of activity. That is why we're making it public today. If the Russians don't go forward with this, that is not ipso facto an indication that they never had plans to do so.
But then it's
So what you're saying is that even if they don't do it, they were still going to do it. But there's no evidence of it because they didn't do it. But they were still going to do it, right? It's just around and around and around. This is your this is what was he, a state official, some idiot, yeah? This is unbelievable, right?
Unprovable. I mean, my God, what is the evidence that you have that suggests that the Russians are even planning this?
Matt,
I'm not saying that they're not, but you just come out and say this and expect us just to believe it without you showing a shred of evidence.
And so he just shrugged his shoulders. Because that's the truth. He just expects you to believe whatever he shovels into your face, yeah?
Believe it without you showing a shred of evidence that it's actually true. Other than when I ask, or when anyone else asks, what's the information? You said, well, I just gave it to you, which was just you making a statement.
Matt, you said yourself, you've been in this business for quite a long time. You know that when we make information, intelligence information public, we do so in a way that protects sensitive sources and methods. You also know that we declassify information only when we're confident in that information.
So if it's declassified, where can we find it? You've just said that it's open to the public. Sure, you have to redact your confidential sources if they even exist. I don't believe they do. I mean, I know that there are spies and so on, but I don't believe if he says it. If he told me that it's daytime, I wouldn't believe him. I'd think nighttime, and that's his fault, their fault, because of their own demeanour, right? But all we're asking is if it's been declassified. Let us see it. Let's read it. Let's show me this evidence. I don't want to live my life being scared of the Russians based on just what this guy says. Who is he? I mean, I don't care what he says. Why should I live my life in fear because this guy says Russia is planning a false flag?
If you doubt the credibility of the U.S. government, of the British government,
Oh, we doubt. We doubt. Doesn't this guy understand why people don't trust him or the government, or as he says, doubt them? Are you aware that you have a track record that people they can remember what you've done, what you've said? Yeah, pattern recognition, which is a core tenet of being a conservative. You recognise patterns, critical thinking skills, another core of being a conservative. Yeah? We remember.
Other governments and want to, find solace in information that the Russians are putting out. That is for you to do.
I'm not asking what the Russian government is putting out, and what is it supposed to be?
So he's given up because he knows he can't win. He knows he can't win. And look, it's that smirk again. Look, he's talking about an alleged false flag operation by a nuclear power that he's then going to get you and your family, if you're watching from America, into a war. You know who Russia's ally is, don't you? China. Do you really want a war over something that the US government themselves could have perpetrated? Yeah? Could have. I'm not saying they did, but I wouldn't put it past them. Look what they're doing at these rallies and the truck events. The trucker events. They turn up. Look at what they did with Glenn Youngkin. Can you remember? With the tiki torches. They were all from the Lincoln Project, all basically Democrats masquerading as Republicans, which is essentially a form of false flag. And these are the same people who wax lyrical about disinformation, misinformation, and false flags. Yeah? The people who do it are the people who wax lyrical about it. Right? It's the same with liberals all the time. And when you call liberals out on their BS, this is the response you get. Just laughing. Just, okay. And then they'll just move on to the next question. They don't understand that their actions and their words have meaning. They have an effect on those around you. Politicians in the West need to learn that. Politicians in the East have known that for a long time. And if it was a war between East and West, once upon a time, West would have won, of course. And that wasn't long ago. Within our lifetimes. If it happened now, all of the dominoes would fall one after the other. Because the Eastern countries have manoeuvred themselves into a position where you need them. All of your manufacturing, especially for essential things like pharmaceuticals and the like, all in China. Oh, well, not all in China, but a lot of it is in China, Taiwan, essential components for devices and so on and so on. Russia provides a huge proportion of the natural gas to Western Europe. Imagine if China and Russia cut off the gas, and all of the rest of it, the manufacturing, all of it just stops. Yeah? What do you think happens then? I'll leave it there. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.